marbucks, and everybody's sitting around drinking coffees and lattes and chais and soy mochas, and everybody has a to-go cup. The to-go cup is for things to go, which coincidentally has a little lining on the inside made out of plastic. Did you know that? Your cardboard coffee cup has a lining made out of plastic.
Let's take a disposable single-use coffee cup, of which we use 300 million a day. You drink the coffee in 10, 20 minutes. If it's a styrofoam package, that package is going to be around longer than the Statue of David.
So we just found out some very exciting news.
Yes.
Didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We're gonna have a baby. We're gonna have a baby.
We're having a baby.
We're having a baby. Yay.
Why should we make a cup or a piece of cutlery that you're going to be using for 5 minutes? Why should we make it out of a drop of oil that takes 70 million years to make? It's not making sense. In 1970, the United States was one of the largest exporters of oil. And here we are in 2008, and we are the largest importer of oil.
This is packaging rage, an affliction suffered daily by millions. Think about how ridiculous it's become. We package everything in plastic. Even things that are already perfectly packaged by nature come packaged in plastic. We package paper in plastic. We even package plastic in plastic.
I've done several images on single-use disposable plastics. One of them is an image of 60,000 plastic bags, which is the number of plastic bags, sacks, and wraps consumed in the United States every 5 seconds. Plastic water bottles. That to me is another one of the most insane things in our world right now. There are 1.2 billion people, almost 20% of the world's population, who lack access to safe drinking water on a daily basis. And at the same time as that is happening, we're spending untold amounts of money and resources shipping tap water from Fiji to Miami, from the Alps to Los Angeles. So us rich people can have a choice of which water to drink out of a disposable plastic bottle. It's insanity.
Bottled water has now surpassed sales of beer and milk, and analysts think that within 3 years it may surpass soda sales. We go through the equivalent of 17 million barrels of oil making the bottles that are used in the United States each year. Making those bottles generates 2.5 million tons of carbon dioxide. They had hundreds of millions of dollars to spend telling us to drink more water. They used celebrities and models and used athletes so that their product was linked with wellness. Utilities don't have millions of dollars hanging around in their budgets to spend on advertisements saying, drink from your sink, our water will make you more attractive to the opposite sex. And so the category grew and grew, and in 2008 we spent over $12 billion on bottled water in this country.
It turns out one of the biggest environmental consequences of making bottled water is making the plastic that makes up the bottle. If you were to fill any bottle about 25% of the way up with petroleum, that's the amount of oil required to make the bottle itself. But that's not the whole story. On top of it, we then have to transport it. If you're moving it a long way, it requires a lot more energy, maybe as much as another quarter. The energy content of the bottle is enormous, and it's an incredibly resource-intensive process.
They don't necessarily do it this way in the rest of the world. Enter Germany, home of the Bratwurst, Beethoven, BMW, and Oktoberfest, Oompa bands. They also take the recycling of plastics very seriously.
I basically collect all the plastic bottles and just carry them to the supermarket, and you put them into this machine and you get a receipt back, and this receipt, it's worth money. And this bottle is getting used a couple of times. You can see the little marks on it, which says how often this bottle is in this recycling circle. And this one is 22nd times. They're getting cleaned, refilled, relabeled, and coming back into the circle.
So this is all the plastic that I've collected this year so far.
This is Beth Terry. 2 years ago, she decided to stop using plastic altogether. And whatever plastic she can't avoid, she saves.
These are like used spaghetti sauce jars, and so I just take them with me to the store. So there's sugar that I can get in bulk and lentils. I stopped using plastic bags because I just hate them. But Michael is a real conservation, use what you have kind of person. So he washes out the plastic bags that we already have. This is our bathroom. The easiest thing in the bathroom is just not to use liquid soap, you know, so we use bar soap.
Beth uses an antique all-metal razor. She swears by it.
You need 3 blades.
But
you know why?
Don't
because
need
the first
3
blade pulls the hair out, and then the second blade pulls it out a little more and smacks it
You're
around.
a product
and then
of
the last
marketing.
one shaves it off.
When I was growing up, we didn't have bottled water. I mean, people made jokes about Evian being naive spelled backwards. I think that for me, it was the idea of harming other living creatures and other people and harming the planet. That's what really woke me up.
So here's a recap of the basics. The way I see it, bring your own bag, bring your own coffee cup, bring your own water bottle, oh, and bring your own brain. Consider less packaging. Go single-use free for a single day. Start there. Become aware of your habits. It's not as easy as you think, but guess what? It makes you think. Ice cream doesn't come in plastic.
More, we must have more.
So it seems like in this society, we like to consume. And a lot of the stuff that we like to consume is made of plastic, or it comes in plastic. Well, once we're done with that, where does it go?
And when you get more.
We put our garbage at the end of the driveway, and the sanitation crew comes and picks it up, and it goes away. Where's away? You know, there is no away.
Hi, welcome to Wendy's. What can I get for you today?
I have a question for you. I'm trying not to use packaging, and I brought my own plate and my own cup. Is it possible to get it served on my own plate?
Hold on 1 second.
Thanks.
We cannot put it on ourselves, but we can give it to you and you can put it on there.
Me taking their food out of their packaging and putting it on my own plate sort of defeated the whole purpose. So I decided to try Taco Bell.
I'm sorry, sir. We can't do that. That's called cross-contamination, and we can't take anything out from the outside in.
Oh. Are you able to put a soda in my own glass, or is that
either? I can't take anything in the window.
Cross-contamination. Okay.
It's not exactly true that they can't take anything through the window. They're fine taking our cross-contaminated money.
It could have something on it.
I'm sorry, you can't film here, ma'am.
Okay, I get this whole concept of using less and producing less waste, but with plastic packaging, can't we just recycle it?
I spent a lot of time in my book asking, is recycling doing any good? Is it worthwhile? Should we continue to do it? And the short answer is a resounding yes, yes, yes. It saves enormous amounts of energy to make new goods from old goods instead of continually pulling raw materials from the earth and transforming them, transporting them, and then sending them on this one-way trip to the landfill. For every barrel of waste we put on the curb, there are 71 barrels of waste generated upstream in making all these consumer goods. And every time we recycle whatever we can, we're chipping away at those 71 barrels upstream.
I have such a love-hate relationship with recycling because I love recycling in that it's sort of an on-ramp or a gateway drug to bigger, better environmental activism. But what I hate about it is it lulls people into thinking they're making a difference. You know, you buy this thing, you know it's overpackaged, but at least you can recycle it. You put it in that blue bin and it's like, ah.
Many plastics are difficult to recycle, so a lot of our used plastic is going to Asia.
Shiploads of our plastic garbage is going over there. And the reason it's going over there is it's yucky to reprocess it. It's technically impossible to really recycle it. It's dirty and stinky and gross, and we don't want that stuff here.
What they do is they take it into a big yard and they pop it open, and they have people working under very low wages with very bad working conditions, and they will cherry pick out the things that they can melt down and do something with. But the human rights and labor issues related with that, and the toxicity issues of some of the open plastic melting that they do, to me, those do not fit in a recycling model.
Buy less stuff. That is the simplest thing that I can say to people.
How about not using something that needs to be disposed of or dealt with in the first place?
Use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without. If you don't need it, don't buy it.
We think of a lot of plastic products as being cheap and disposable. But here's the thing. Disposable plastic isn't really that cheap. Someone has to pay, whether it's the cost of making it, transporting it, or the cost of throwing it away. And how about the unquantifiable amount it costs when plastics end up loose in the environment? Who pays for that? So I recently found out that there is all this trash sitting in the middle of the ocean. And a lot of this trash is plastic. And my first thought was, well, all right, but I didn't do that. Where does that trash come from? Trash gets loose on the land, it blows into a river, and the trash goes into the ocean. So that is our plastic out there. And there's a lot of it.
People ask me, why should I care about the ocean? It seems so obvious. The ocean is the cornerstone of Earth's life support system. It shapes climate and weather. It holds most of life on Earth. 97% of Earth's water is there. It's the blue heart of the planet. We should take care of our heart. It's what makes life possible for us. We still have a really good chance to make things better than they are. They won't get better unless we take the action and inspire others to do the same thing. No one is without power. Everybody has the capacity to do something.
How bad is the situation with plastic in the ocean?
I think it's bad because it's unnecessary. It doesn't have to be there. There are clear environmental consequences in terms of we know that over 260 species are affected by plastic debris through entanglement and ingestion. So just based on the statistics of production, how we've gone from 500,000 tons of plastic per year produced in the 1950s to over 260 million tons today. To put that into context, okay, the first decade of this century, by 2010, will have produced more